Welcome everybody to Exposing the Business Podcast. I am Tiante and I'm here with Swole Brother number one, Steven. How you doing, Steve?
Pretty good, Tiante. Ready to flex on them today.
Let's flex on these people today. We got an interview, another one for y'all today. Another independent wrestler. Of course, we're talking about the West Coast HOODSLAM'S zone. Kenneth K, how you doing, sir?
Doing well. How about yourself?
Doing pretty good. It's been a nice Friday for us, you know. How you been doing?
Not too bad. It's starting to get really hot out here on the West Coast, so the days are getting hot. But otherwise, I'm doing good. I'm staying busy. I've got a lot of shows this weekend.
Ooh,
that's good. We know the feeling when it comes to heat out here. We had some pretty tough heat over here, and God knows it's hard to cut the grass. Go outside, get the mail. You go get the mail, you got a whole bucket of sweat.
Exactly. Yep.
I mean, tell us about some of the shows coming up for you, though, real quick.
Okay, so today is Friday the 7th. So we have HOODSLAM in Oakland, California today.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be me and the squad taking on Poojack and Drugs Bunny versus a couple of mystery opponents. I believe MVP is going to be at that show.
Oh, okay.
So that'll be a good show. And then Saturday, I'm headed to Fresno, California for Best of the West Wrestling, which is available on Amazon Prime if you have it. And they also have a YouTube show, but I'll be wrestling Wise Guy there.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, I'm headed straight to Portland, Oregon, and wrestling in a four-way match there for against Ethan HD, Sonico, El Chupacabra, and myself.
Okay.
And it wraps up the weekend, so I'm driving.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I might be looking forward to a match with a person named Drugs Bunny. I can't even lie about that. That sounds hype.
Hey, you can catch it on Twitch. It's live.
All right, but I mean, what's the West Coast wrestling scene looking like right now?
I think it's doing really well right now. I mean, when I first started, it was definitely not doing as well as it is now. It's definitely on an upswing. There's a lot of companies out here. And a lot of the companies are doing well out here, which is really nice. And the crowd seems to be really receiving, the type of wrestling that's happening out here very well. I mean, they're really digging it. I think that the people are a little bit more open to wrestling than they used to be.
Because I know a big thing over there is like the Battle for Los Angeles, PWG, and I mean, is that a goal for you one day?
Yeah, I mean, PWG has always been kind of a goal for me, but it's LA and NorCal have this weird separation. You know what I mean? Like the Southern California guys kind of stay down there, and the Northern California guys kind of stay up here. California is such a big place; it could be 3 different states. So when you're driving to LA, it's a 6-hour drive. You might as well be in Portland. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good stuff in LA for sure. I'm not super aware of all the stuff that's happening in LA. I know PWG's down there. You've got AAW. There's a lot of good companies down there doing good stuff, but they've got their own group down there, and we've got our own group up here, kind of that's rotating. I mean, there's some guys that kind of switch between, Southern California, Northern California, travel a little bit more. It just depends on the promotions.
Okay. Well, excuse me. I guess to also help get this interview started, my question for you, how'd you get your start in the business?
Well, I started really, really young. So I immigrated from Germany when I was about 7 years old.
Oh.
So and then from there, when I got into the U.S., I moved to Florida. I didn't really watch wrestling or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I moved to California, I remember distinctly going to a toy store when I was little one time, going down the toy aisle, seeing a kid buy one of those WWE replica belts, and me making fun of him in my head about it.
Look at that loser.
Yeah, who buys toy belts, and then maybe not even, a couple months later, I'm in elementary school in California, and I'm, pretending to be The Rock, at Reset, and Stone Cold and stuff, and then eventually buying my own belt, and then eventually having a group of friends that all did it on the trampoline. We bought our, We did our own little pay-per-views. Then eventually the trampoline broke because we got too heavy, and then we went to mattresses, And then from there, I went to the local access TV station, and we got a TV show for the local access TV company. Yeah, so we were doing backyard wrestling on local access TV, and then eventually we went from mattresses and we pulled our money together and we bought a ring. And then that's kind of how I got started with learning how to bump and running the ropes and stuff. And then eventually I met a friend of mine, Travis, and he introduced me to a couple pros in the Northern California scene. And then that eventually led me to getting actually professionally trained.
So, I mean, you started an independent public access wrestling show when you were really young, like just.
Yeah, so high school probably is where it started. So freshman, sophomore year, somewhere around there.
Okay.
Matter of fact, we actually convinced our school to to let us run a wrestling show during lunch, during school hours.
That's awesome.
I have a friend who did
I'm
that.
not sure how they convinced the insurance company to cover it, but we ended up hitting each other with chairs and ladders and all kinds of crap.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Not smart decisions when we were little, but hey, I mean, that's a pretty big. I mean, to get a wrestling show at your school during school hours is not an easy task.
No, not at all. I'm almost positive. I'm sure they were scared looking at you and all y'all doing crazy stunts off them tables.
Probably, yeah.
Well, did you have like a favorite wrestler? When you first started watching wrestling and.
Yeah, I mean, I was a WCW kid, so I was in the 90s, 96, 97, kind of, that's when I started getting into wrestling a lot and watching it. So I would primarily watch WCW and then switch over to WWF. And my favorites were Goldberg and Billy Kidman, which is a weird combination, but that's what I started with. And then eventually, Rey Mysterio, and I appreciated a lot more other guys,
Okay. I was hoping you would say Sting because that's
his boy.
That's my boy.
I like Sting, but he was never Goldberg was my dude.
Yeah. Well, he had a match today too against Undertaker.
Yeah, he does. It's crazy.
I wonder how that went.
Yeah. But I mean, obviously, because we talked to a few people and none of them have really ever said, they started that young, just wrestling that young.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people started, messing around with their friends and stuff, the backyard stuff we did. I mean, I taped a lot of shows. We even did, I did all the editing for it. I mean, I put together a whole show on VHS to VHS editing. Like, that's how far back it was.
That's some dedication.
It is. That's hardcore dedication.
You got to start somewhere, right?
Yeah, no lie. So you've talked about some of your favorite wrestlers, and you said that you started actually training when you was around like late teens. I mean, who was some?
When I started professionally training when I was about 16.
And like what was your first school? Like who were some of your teachers that helped you get along?
Out here, the school I went to was called Brawl. It doesn't exist anymore. It's called Barely Regulated American Wrestling League at the time.
Ooh.
And it was headed up by Rick Luxury, Dustin and Derek Mell, who are the Stoner Brothers or the Suburban Commandos. And then also Joe Applebaum, who used to be Pogo the Clown on XPW. You ever know him?
I've seen XPW. I've seen like some past XPW stuff.
Yeah. So he Pogo the Clown was like the I think it was who's the serial killer that had the clown?
Gee.
Bundy, was it Bundy? No. Anyway, it was that he was replicating that guy. He had had the shovel. His move was called the bury in the basement. Yeah, so he's still around. He's in way better shape now than he used to be, and he's doing real good now. He's still out here repping it, man. He's knocking people out still.
Hey, no one ever retires from wrestling.
Yeah. Wrestling's in the blood, man. It doesn't go away.
So you started training under them, and so, of course, we're on the East Coast, and I mean, now people over here have even heard of a hood slam. What's a hood slam for us East Coasters?
The best way to explain it is it's just an all-inclusive it's just like there's no restrictions on the imagination and creativity of what could possibly happen at a wrestling show. So it's a place where you can get, you get comedy, you get your drama, you get your action, you can get all that in one show. And whereas a lot of wrestling shows will claim that, they take it to another level with the creativity that they bring to the table. And it's just a crazy atmosphere, and it's a whole lot of fun. I mean, it's definitely an alternative type of wrestling. It's not your average like PWG show or something like that.
Speaking of creativity, because I stumbled across you. Matter of fact, I was on Reddit one day. I want to say I was on the tab Squared Circle, and I saw the video of you doing this like crazy impressive DDT, and I saw it like blew up on Reddit. Like, I mean, it had over like 500 upvotes, and I was sitting there saying that move was insane. I mean, on a scale of what you're saying, how great you think a DDT was?
I don't know. Honestly, that's not the move that I thought was gonna get all the attention. I've done so many crazy things that I've just expected. I'm just kind of throwing stuff at the wall. I'm hoping something sticks eventually.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not exactly the one that I thought was going to stick, but I'm happy. I'm happy. I didn't know about the Reddit thread until it was mentioned to me. I knew about it on Twitter. When I posted on Twitter, people retweeted a lot. I got like 15,000 views, which is really cool.
Yeah.
It's great to put something out there because you don't, I mean, as a local wrestler who's not super well known everywhere, it's hard to get validation as far as like if you're moving the right direction or doing the right things. You know what I mean? So stuff like that really, really helps in keeping me motivated.
Yeah.
Because you get grumpy and bitter.
I mean, you basically started, I mean, a big viral little sensation for a bit, and I mean, what's crazier you've done? Because I mean, you said you've done crazier than that DDT.
Yeah, that was just, this is the 360 DDT off of somebody. I mean, I did a clip not too long ago, or a move that I do. I mean, I've done a backbreaker off of a wall run. So like the guy, I run up the wall, up behind him, kind of like a slice spread, and give him a backbreaker.
Okay.
One of the other ones that I did, tag team move. Usually somebody has a guy in a fireman's carry. I'm on the top rope. I 180 jump to the guy that's in the fireman's carry, and then moonsault off of him onto somebody else.
Oh, Jesus.
That's the one I thought was going to get more attention, but it didn't. But hey, or the best moonsault ever from Christopher Daniels?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I do that into a spinal tap.
Jeez. Ooh, okay.
Also another one that I thought would get more, but hey, 360 DT, I'll take it.
Apparently gravity forgot you along with Pac Neville.
That's right. My first moniker before Pac even got big was the man that gravity forgot.
Oh, okay. They stole that from you.
I don't know if they stole it. A lot of people come up with the same stuff.
Yeah. I mean, do you try to create new stuff on the regular, or
all the time? That's my whole philosophy on wrestling, man. I get bored with my own stuff, so I have to be creative and keep myself entertained. So a lot of times I come up with new ways to do backbreakers, because that's my thing. I love backbreakers. That's just been my thing since I started. And once I finally kind of got into that niche, that's where I grow. So I try to find unique and interesting ways to get into it or do them that's different. And, I've always tried to throw something at the wall that's different, because I always want people that are at the show to feel like they had a unique experience when they saw me, rather than going, all right, well, I know what Kenny K does. When I go see him, I'm going to see these things. So every match I do, I always try to throw something new in there, or something that you haven't seen in a while, or you haven't seen at all, because I usually put it on a back burner or whatever. So I interchange my moves a lot and rotate them.
Okay. How's your experience been as an independent wrestler? I mean, have you gone through any struggles?
Oh man, yeah. I mean, I think that's the entire path of a professional wrestler is the definition of that is a struggle. I mean, I've lost 3 cars from trips going up to Seattle. I've relationship issues. damaged body, sciatica, messed up ankles, chipped elbows, cauliflower ear, all kinds of stuff. All kinds of stuff. Yeah, there's been some struggles. That all that stuff does not compare to hitting that glass ceiling or trying to get past that stupid wall of people knowing or recognizing you or whatever. Just trying to get to that next platform, whether it be PWG or a company like Evolve or ROH or something that's a little bit more well known. What's nice is that I got on HOODSLAM, and HOODSLAM is pretty popular, so that's a real blessing for me.
Yeah, I mean, it just getting your foot in the door is just something in any medium.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough, and I'm not your 6'5", 6-pack dude. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of guys that are body guys. I'm a work rate guy. Like, I show my shit in the ring, I take care of it in there, and I do all my stuff in there, and that's how I entertain people. You know what I mean? So it's tough. It's tough to get to a certain level, but you got to just keep pushing. And I'm happy with where I definitely have gotten, because I never thought as a little kid, that I would get this far. So so that's already a good step. But yeah, there's definitely been some struggles as far as injuries and just emotional and mental kind of struggles, just trying to deal with what do I got to do? What do I got to do to get somewhere?
Man, I mean just like, what would say is like the pinnacle that you've reached so far in your career?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say that there's like one specific pinnacle. I mean, there's so many different things that, and honestly, I've got to actually ask myself that question, because there's a lot of times that I don't appreciate what has already happened to me. So, things like Cassius Ono, being able to do like a couple months basically consultation with Cassius Ono was really cool. Being able to wrestle Super Crazy, being able to wrestle TJ Perkins before he went to the WWE when I was like 16, 17.
Okay.
Wrestling guys like that. Matt Cross, I was able to wrestle Matt Cross. That's a guy I've been watching, since I started.
Oh man.
So, wrestling at HOODSLAM, those are all big deals for me that I really appreciate, and actually have to remember that I did something in this business, rather than, just saying that I was going to try to become a professional wrestler at one point. I
mean, those are some pretty big names you've wrestled. I mean, you've already reached some pretty big heights so far, and I mean, I think he got like a lot more time to go too. I mean, and I think it's why me and Steve love calling like independent wrestlers, because I mean, well, first off, we will love to say, hey, we talked to him or her before they got big. Yeah.
I always, it's funny. I always appreciate people like you guys who puts the spotlight on guys like us, because I mean, there's a lot of podcasts and people out there that'll be real quick. As soon as something big happens, or somebody gets some money or gets a contract, they're like, oh, let me talk to that guy now. And now they're worried about him, but before they didn't give a crap, Yeah. And that's the same with promotions. Like, that's why, I always want to make sure that I treat the promotions that gave me the opportunity, and the people that gave me an opportunity in the beginning, give them the best I can,
It's just great to just, talk to up and coming stars. And I mean, me and Steve, we've been watching wrestling for like years, over a decade, and it's always interesting just to see like how people just start,
Right. Yeah. I mean, everyone's got a little bit of a different story. I mean, do you guys know who Manny Favorino is, or K-Sammy Mansoor? He just started in NXT, so he was down here with us. So he was training at with the Dustin and Derek Mel down in Oakland. So I had a couple matches with him too. He's real fun to wrestle. He's still a young kid too. He's got a lot ways to go. So
he actually just won a battle royale over in the Saudi Arabia show.
Oh, did he? Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, it's great to hear that he's doing so well.
Yeah, 50 people, and I think he I mean, there's some names in there like Joe, and he last eliminated Elias, Matt Hardy, all those names was in that. He won it, so yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, he's a good dude. So anything that he gets, it's well deserved.
Yeah. So what is your diet like on the road, and do you have like a guilty food?
The diet on the road's pretty tough. I mean, you try your best. But, I eat a lot of beef jerky.
I like beef jerky. That's
a
like
lot of beef jerky, a lot of like tea and water, stuff like that. I mean, you try to stay protein high, carbs low, as much as you can.
Yeah.
But as far as guilty foods, peanut M&Ms are my curse. Matter of fact, I've thought about even working that into my booking.
Oh.
It'll be this much, and a bag of share size M&Ms, peanut, please.
Anybody with a peanut allergy, please stay away.
It's part of the game, that'll put you down.
We got our boy Steve here. He's muscle man here. He's swole brother to us.
Oh, I'm blushing.
Okay. He's not eating peanut M&Ms. You gotta stay away from those.
Yeah, my biggest weakness is just candy, because God knows I'll walk into a store and I'll see some trolleys.
Oh yeah, dude, I'm from Germany, man. Trolleys my jam.
Oh man, I love trolleys.
I used to go to the warehouse where they made the stuff and sold it in bulk with my grandma.
Oh man, that had been awesome.
Yeah, it was a rough time. I mean, I love strawberry sour belts, so I bought a whole package of 500 or something.
I would have been stuffing my pockets.
Once you have it, you're gonna eat it.
Yeah, would have been stuffing my pockets on the low. Yeah, something's missing. Are you sure? No, I think we're good.
Yeah, but that's one of the hardest things is keeping your food straight on the road, because the choices are so limited.
Yeah, definitely. Is there a major wrestling company in the cards for you in the future?
I mean, that depends on them, I guess. I'd like to. I'd love to wrestle, anywhere. Honestly, my goals are. I think Japan would be nice. I'd love to wrestle in WXW in Germany. That'd be fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
PWG has always been on my list. Those are the companies that I look forward to wrestling. I mean, as far as Impact and WWE, if it comes across my way, cool. It's not like I'm gonna say no,
Yeah.
But it's not something that's. I mean, I've always been more, intrigued by the Japanese kind of wrestling scene, and even Lucha Libre is pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely the Japanese wrestling scene, and then I'd love to wrestle in my home country.
Yeah, I just think it's just a great time for wrestling, because it's now, WWE is not the end all be all. You can go anywhere and make your money, and it's just a wonderful time to be a wrestling fan.
Yeah, I agree, and there's so many opportunities, and the more companies there are, the more opportunities there are for people to wrestle there.
Yeah,
and like I said, I'm willing to wrestle anywhere that's willing to have me. I'm an open-ended guy, so it's independent contractor. So you want to hire me, I'll wrestle there, and I'll put on the best I can, and hopefully blow the people away.
Cue the Cody Rhodes ear gif.
I see. Because now I'm imagining you in WXW with you versus Walter now. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he's about my age.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but just much larger.
He's a big boy.
Matter of fact, he was in a tag team with wasn't it Timothy Thatcher?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Timothy Thatcher used to ref my matches when I started.
Oh, really?
Awesome.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he started out here in Sacramento.
Okay. So that's, it's just, because, I don't know, I guess because I've heard a lot of these names that are coming up, like him, and see, because I never ventured out into the indie scene a lot until we started doing these interviews, so it's I've started just hearing about Timothy Thatcher and hearing about people like Walter and Ring Conf and WXW. I didn't even know Germany's scene was that big, honestly.
Yeah, I think it grew just with the times, with the recent boom in wrestling. It just got larger, especially with the European show that happened, the World of Sports show. A lot of stuff blew up with the British scenes, and that just carried over, I think.
Well, hopefully we get to see you in some of those, and but me and Steve, we kind of want to see every time we have somebody come on, we always have to ask and see about people's more leisure lives, so we got to ask. I mean, in your downtime, what do you normally do when you're not working and wrestling?
So yeah, I mean, I still have a day job I have to deal with. And then yeah, I mean, pretty busy. I usually wrestle 2 or 3 times on the weekends, so it's generally pretty busy on the weekends. I don't really have that much time where I'm downtime, but I just spend it with my girlfriend, my dog, you know, video games. I like video games, you know. Try to work out as much as possible, you know. That's pretty much it as far as leisure time. I do a lot of hobbies. I have a lot of little hobbies here and there. Like I play piano and I do like the video games and stuff, and I do video editing. So all that stuff kind of goes into the branding portion of my stuff. Because I did all my own music videos and stuff like that. So those are kind of my hobbies. So I always try to stay productive, even though I have free time.
Yeah. What you got me when you said video games and you have a dog. So what kind of dog do you have? Oh,
it's a little runt. It's like a Chihuahua Pug Beagle mix.
Ooh, I used to have a beagle when I was a kid and ran away.
Yeah, it has the coat of a beagle, body of a Chihuahua, and the eyes of a pug.
Yeah, I got a cockapoo, and she's old, but I love her to death. Gets on my nerves sometimes, but I love her to death. And you said you play video games. What games do you play?
It varies, man. I pretty much everything. I like the action games. I was a big shooter fan, Call of Duty fan when I really got into video games. Call of Duty 3 was when I first really got into everything. And I play. I don't know if you guys play the VR stuff on the PlayStation, but that Beat Saber game is ridiculous.
We haven't messed with VR yet, but please do tell.
That game is hella fun, but you'll blow out your shoulders, man. You get real tired real fast.
Yeah, me and Steve haven't messed with that VR yet. We're on a budget.
That's all good.
Yeah, recently I'm playing Days Gone right now, and
oh yeah, that looks good. I just downloaded World War Z.
Ooh.
And that game's pretty fun. It's like a Left 4 Dead kind of game, but just structured a little bit different. Yeah. And it's real cool, like watching the hordes and stuff come in. It's awesome.
I'm about to try it out.
Yeah, give it a shot. It's definitely fun. It has a lot of replay value.
What would you say was your game growing up, though?
Call of Duty. That would be my game. Yeah, from all the way from 2 to like, I mean, even now. I mean, I skipped a few recently, but Black Ops 3 is probably kind of where I stopped. So I bought almost every single one up until then. So I was a big Call of Duty fan.
Black Ops was like my favorite Call of Duty game of all time. I had so much fun.
Black Ops and Modern Warfare 1 and 2 for me.
Do you have a favorite movie?
Favorite movie? I don't know if I have a bunch of favorite movies. Right now it's the John Wick series.
Ooh.
Yeah, John Wick series is some of my favorites. Have you ever seen, I think it's called Ninja Assassin?
I've heard of it. That's
a good one. That's a good action movie. But, yeah, as far as favorites go, you know, John Wick, Die Hard, stuff like that.
The one man on a mission shoots everybody.
Skyscraper with The Rock, yeah, pretty much, you know. And he's just pissed about being there. You know, that's what I relate to. I relate to getting shit done, but being angry about it.
You can't get it done unless you're angry.
Yeah, you gotta be a little bit bitter, you know.
It helps things just kind of go along.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we don't want to hold you up for too long. We know you gotta get back to the grind. So I mean, just any last words for us? Any words of encouragement for people who are still like on their grind with the business, and any plugs you want to give out? I mean,
sure. So as far as words of encouragement, I guess I could just tell it to myself because because everybody needs to hear this crap, and it's definitely me first. So it's to, you know, appreciate what you got, where you went, where you've gotten to. You know, if you decided to get into wrestling and you finally had a professional match, you did it. You're a fucking professional wrestler. You know what I mean? You got there. You know, appreciate what you've gotten and keep on working. I know there's a lot of people that get discouraged real fast by, you know, not being able to get where they thought they were going to be. You know, I thought I was going to be in PWG by 22, but by the time I was 20, that still hasn't happened. So but other things have. So, you know, keep pushing. Just worry about yourself. don't worry about anybody else, because the more you focus on other people's success and get mad about them, regardless of how long they've been in the business and what they've done and what your perceived skill of theirs is, just keep pushing and worry about yourself and try your best and don't get stale. That's my advice.
And any plugs you want to give out? For
definitely. So I've got Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. My Instagram is generally where I post a lot of my clips. So the DDT or anything that's basically from every match almost. I pick out a cool things that happen in the match, and I try to post them there to keep it pretty consistent, almost once a day. So yeah, give me a follow on Instagram. It's KennyK5 on Instagram. On Twitter, it's _KennyK. And on Facebook, it's the KennyK5, I believe.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, just thank you once again for coming on, and
we really appreciate it.
We really do.
Thank you for having me, guys. I really appreciate you guys putting the spotlight on independent wrestlers.
I mean, we thank you for helping put the spotlight on us too, because we're still a small channel. We're trying to get big, and I think we can all just sort of help each other. And well, it's just we just love talking to y'all, really.
Welcome back anytime, man.
Appreciate it. We'll get you guys some views, hopefully.
Yeah, y'all.
I can at least guarantee 5.
Hey, we'll take it.
5 is good. I mean, thank you, Mr. K. I mean, good luck in your journey, man. And I mean, I hope to see you. If not both, then at least in either AJPW or NJPW.
Yes, sir. I hope so too, man.
I'll see you in Best Super Juniors in about 2 years.
Oh, that'd be great, man. Yeah, you'll be seeing me tearing it up. I'll be hitting that DDT on everybody.
Hope you're doing it on John Moxley,
Yep.
All right, thanks again, man.
Cool. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
You take care, man.
Bye.
I mean, he was a cool guy.
Yeah, really cool. Appreciate him coming out. Helping us. Great interview.
And I hope we helped him out as well. I mean, check out Hood Slam and go. Follow on Twitter, follow on Instagram, and we had a pretty decent day today. I mean, me and Steve, we just hanging out, really.
Yeah, hanging out, watching Super Showdown. Of course, there's some foolery in the midst, like it normally is, But we always find a way to get by it,
Yeah.
Keep on chucking.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I mean, our review for it was a show.
Well, we're missing a match, so we gotta get back to that,
Yeah, don't worry, Taker's still walking out.
Yeah. Oh, good, wonderful.
Yeah,
we didn't miss much.
We didn't. He's still walking out. Goldberg's still, walking with his guards. Does he have guards to protect us from him or to protect him from us?
I believe it was him from us.
Okay.
Well, thank you, Jamal.
Thank you. Oh yeah, we have a person here.
Yeah, his name is Jabbar.
Oh, we have no code name for him.
Sticky Fingers. We call it Sticky Fingers.
Sticky Fingers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sticky Fingers Jamar. Or I might call him Slender Man. Who knows?
Oh, Tendies. We'll call him Tendies.
Yeah, Tendies. Yeah, Tendies.
There we go. Jamar, Jamar, who's your favorite superhero? Jamar.
He's a favorite supervillain.
Who is it?
Thanos.
Thanos?
Yeah, he loves Thanos.
Oh, we know that.
Who?
It's Magneto.
I couldn't tell, Jamar, because every time I see something on your phone or whatever, it's Thanos. Thanos this, Thanos that.
Thanos pops. It's Magneto.
Okay.
I'll ask my boy King.
Thanos second.
Okay. Well, I'll ask my boy King to make you a Thanos logo. Okay.
Thanos second.
Not the Magneto logo. We're not making it with Thanos logo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we'll.
I'll put my Thanos emoji on my Discord.
Bet you do.
That is wonderful. I'm ready to go home.
Wait. What is this place we're at then? Did I just expose the business?
You sure did.
That's what we do here, Steve.
Yeah, we expose the business.
That's what we do here.
Jim Cornette will love us.
Jamar, did you like Super Showdown? Don't spoil Goldberg vs. Taker for us.
Yeah, because you watched it. We didn't.
Did you like it, Jamar?
He's a very simple, plain man.
Yeah. Jamar's a simple man with simple needs and simple wants.
Well,
You can't say too much. I don't want me to spoil it.
of course.
No, I said don't spoil Taker versus Goldberg, Jamar. You can spoil everything else. Jamar,
I'm done.
this is what we do whenever I see him, guys. This is what happens. Jamar, give me words for the viewers. No? Are you 7? You don't want to say words? That's what happens, y'all. Oh, all right. Well, that's all, I guess. We try giving you all some more. We have the show under an hour. I thought I can give y'all some more. Jamar doesn't want to talk. Jamar doesn't want to say words.
But yeah, the interview.
It was a pretty good interview.
Wonderful.
I hope we see him again.
Yeah, great guy. Wish the best luck for him.
Yeah, that was episode 47. We got 3 more to episode 50.
Might delay it some more.
Might delay it some more. We're trying to really make it big for y'all.
Yeah, super big.
Super big.
Double or nothing big.
Oh, well, I mean, that was pretty big.
WrestleMania 1 big.
How about this is a Talk is Jericho equivalent? Well, what's wrong, Steve? If WWE can say that this Saudi show is a WrestleMania equivalent pay-per-view, we can say this is a Talk is Jericho equivalent show.
You can say that. You can say that. And when you get beat, that's on you, not on Steve. Not on Steve Young.
Who's gonna?
Steve Young is good. I'm in the clear.
All right, fine. Y'all can beat me up, and if I'm close to Jamar, you can beat him up too.
Jesus.
Okay. I guess that's all for y'all. So until then, everybody.
Stay mean.
What he said.